Hey everyone, it's Miss Hurley. It is Sunday at like 7:45 p.m. I hoped to release this video on Friday, but I was really tired and really done for the day, so I didn't. It happens to me just like it happens to you. So I am releasing this video today. The contents of this video are I want to go over some student shout outs, some students that really did an awesome job, and I want to make sure that they know that they're being noticed. Some major misconceptions from last week, the morning meeting agendas for the week, and announcements. So first and foremost, I want to shout out some students. So shout out to Richard, Anais, Joseph, and Leia. They all took Friday's quiz several times in order to improve their score, and they all ended up with higher scores because they revised. So shout out to you all. Being persistent and doing a quiz 2, 3, 4 times is really impressive, and it shows that you are dedicated to your learning. Turn in all stars. So all of these people turned in all of their work for last week. That's awesome. And I love that this list is so long, and I'd love to see it get even longer this coming week. I want to especially shout out Liz Mary. So in school, Liz Mary did her work and was always very polite. The quality of work that Liz Mary is now producing, even in a digital setting, is so strong. I was blown away by the quality of her short response on Friday's quiz, and I'm excited to keep on seeing high quality work from her. So nice job, Liz Mary. So speaking of Friday's quiz and the short response, I want to go through the expectations for this. I'm going to exit out of my photo because none of you need to see my Sunday face. Major misconception. So the question asks, in Act 1, most of the characters are referred to generally instead of by name. They use things like saying the flower girl, the bystander, and the gentleman instead of referring to these people as by their name. Why does the playwright choose to do this? So many of you didn't understand what this question was asking. It's an author's purpose question. So in order to answer this question correctly, you have to think critically about why would an author, or in this case, a playwright, choose to be more general with their characters instead of more specific. So I rephrase the question here. What is the author trying to communicate by making the decision to use these names instead of character names? So we have to think really critically about what message is the author trying to get through in doing this. That's all I'm going to say about it here. If you're still confused about this question, please, please, please make sure that you are at Monday morning's meeting. We're going to go through, I'm going to show some examples from some students. I'm going to walk through and model an example myself. And we're really going to give opportunities for students to get some specific feedback on this question. This was the question that was by far the most challenging last week, and so I want to give space for it on Monday to make sure everyone really understands. So this is the coming week's morning meeting agendas. The reason why I wanted to include this is because I wanted to make sure that everyone understood what the morning meetings are going to be about. That way you can attend when you need to, and you don't attend when you don't need to. I want to value your time, and I want to value my time and all of the other students' time. If you don't need to be there for a day because you totally understand Act 1, then you don't need to show up on Monday, right? And so by me showing you these morning meeting agendas, hopefully it will allow you to schedule your time a little bit more effectively. So on Monday, we're going to do an overview of Act 1. We're going to go through that short response question, and I'm going to type that in so I don't forget it. Go over Friday's short response. There we go. I like doing this to separate ideas. That helps me. I don't need to capitalize those things. So this is what we're going to do on Monday. We're going to make sure that everyone understands what's happening in Act 1, because if we don't understand what's happening in Act 1, How are we supposed to follow the rest of the play? So I'm going to make sure that we really understand Act 1 on Monday. Tuesday, we're going to be thinking about Act 1 in terms of theme. So reminder, we think a lot about theme in 7th grade. We're going to be thinking about theme throughout Pygmalion. We're going to practice and remind ourselves what theme is and how it is developed using Act 1 on Tuesday. If you are like, oh no, I don't remember what theme is or how to find it, you need to be in Tuesday's morning meeting. Wednesday, character development mini lesson. So we're going to be tracking the main character of Pygmalion in every single act. And so on Wednesday, we're going to not only remind ourselves what character development is and how it works, but we're also going to be creating an identity map for the main character. So if you're like, what is character development? Or who's the main character? How am I supposed to know how to create an identity map for them? If those are some of the questions you're thinking, make sure you're there on Wednesday. Thursday, supporting inferences with evidence, and we're going to do a quote sandwich review. So this week, I want to make it really clear. For short responses, you cannot earn full credit unless you use a quote sandwich. I'm going to say that again. You cannot earn full credit on short responses unless you use a quote sandwich. If you're like, Miss Hurley, what the heck is a quote sandwich? Then you need to be there Thursday. You also need to look in your supplemental resources because there is a resource around quote sandwiches. In terms of supporting inferences with evidence, what this is going to allow us to do is more effectively predict and more effectively analyze the different aspects of the play in order to critically think about what's happening. So if you're still not feeling super great on what's going on in Act 1, or you don't feel comfortable providing reasoning and evidence for your inferences, make sure you're there on Thursday. And finally, Friday, as it will be every Friday while we're doing Pygmalion, we're going to be doing Reader's Theater. So last Friday, we went really slowly and we didn't get through the whole act. My goal for this Friday is that we are able to read through the entire Act 2 using Reader's Theater. So on Friday, if it's helpful for people to hear the act being read aloud, make sure you're there. Additionally, if you really like to read aloud and that helps you understand the text, make sure you're there on Friday. Finally, I've got 3 announcements. First and foremost, office hours start this week. So office hours, I sent an email regarding office hours. You can sign up on Tuesdays and Thursdays for a 10-minute chunk of time with me. What that will allow you to do is get some personalized feedback. Make sure to touch base and ask questions that you haven't had the opportunity to ask. And just say hi, because I miss you all. And yeah, I miss you. Hopefully you miss me too when you just want to say hi. But office hours are for any of those things. Any support you need, that's the time for it. Additionally, I wanted to create another point of contact for me with students. So I've created a bi-weekly check-in schedule for myself. All this means is that every 2 weeks, you're going to get a text message from me going, hey, how are you? How are things going? Do you need any support or any additional services or anything from me to make your life a little bit easier? Let's talk about your grades real fast, right? That's all it's going to be. It's going to be a text message because calling is exhausting and I prefer texting because I'm of the generation of texting. That's what happens. And also, that way you all have my number, which if we were in the school building, I would think is a little bit weird. But because we're digital, I want you to be able to feel like you can contact me when you need me. And so, yes, of course, email me, but my phone number is a way to get in touch with me as well. Additionally, final announcement, short response expectations. This week, the short responses were not great. I'm just going to be 100%. Not great. When we are writing a short response, you need to be using the short response rubric, which means you need to have a claim. You need to provide at least 2 pieces of evidence, and you need to have reasoning, or analysis for that evidence. If you don't have those things in your short response, I can guarantee you will not earn full credit this week. So please make sure you're referencing the rubric, you're looking at the feedback I give on quizzes and daily check-ins, and you're making sure that you are holding yourself to a high standard in terms of your writing. We know how to do this. We did this in the school building. We're going to do it here too. And with that, I'm going to leave you to the rest of your Sunday evening. I love you dearly. I miss all of your faces. And I'll see you on Monday morning. Have a good one. Bye.